What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so we done with concourse. You guys saw the previous video of the white car, and I can get on now with the rest of the content. So that took a lot of our time, but it's the annual event that we do, or the one event for the year that we do, so we had to get it done. Okay, so anyway, the next up is a car that's very unique to South Africa, right? So it was never brought to South Africa. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was only manufactured for Spain and for Italy. And this is now, to the South Africans, a lot of people haven't even seen it. A lot of people don't even know it exists. A lot of people do know as well. But this is the 325 IX. So I'm just going to picture in picture just some brief info on the 325 IX, right? So if I'm not mistaken, it's a 2.5 liter M20 motor, but it comes with a different kit on it, and obviously it's four-wheel drive. So front suspension is different. There's a transfer case on the gearbox. There's a front diff on it. There's a prop shaft running from the gearbox to the front, so which makes it totally different to the standard E30s, whether it's 318s, 325 ISs, M3s, triple threes. It's totally unique, or the suspension setup is totally unique to that. Then the structure of the vehicle is totally different. So the dimensions are totally different. And we've actually cross-referenced it, and we've done physical checks, and we've got diagrams to state it. So on this vehicle, we're not doing a full restore on it. All we are doing is basically a repaint on it. The car does have some surface rust on it. We don't know how far the rust is going. It's not major rust, but we know that the guy has been standing also for the past, I think it's 10 or 15 years. So the owner based at the coast pulled it out and finally said, Sanjay, let's get this car painted. And it's actually been with me for a while, and I'm finally getting to it now. And the reason I only got to it now is because I'm not too sure what is entailed with regards to clips, with regards to taking the kit off. So I wanted to strip the car out myself. So today we're just going to do an introductory quickly to it. I'm gonna strip whatever we can out. We're not taking motor, we're not taking gearbox out. I really, unless I find rust, unless I find issues, then I'm gonna force myself to take it off. But I really don't want to disturb anything else, because we don't know about parts for this guy. I do know that parts are an issue because there's only a handful made. So let's go through the vehicle and let's get this. Yeah, let's see what she holds fast. Okay, so this is the car that we are chatting about, right? So the car looks pretty. It doesn't look like it needs to be painted. Much going on with the vehicle. If you start deeper in, you'll see that the car was repainted before, and you'll see the after effects of standing. And I won't say we're not prepared, right? You can't really see any issues on it, but it's not the cleanest of paint. So we're gonna do the usual. We're not sandblasting on this vehicle or anything of the sort. So I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna remove front bumper, the valence. I'm gonna make a decision. Obviously, the lip, headlights, grills will come out. We're gonna leave the bonnet in place for now. I'll pull the badges off. The wipers will come out. The covers will come out. The windscreen lock will come out. So you can see here on the lock here, this here has been replaced or redone before. So you can see that I always say that these locks shrink as you pull them out. So we're gonna have to replace this guy, get a new one in there. And you'll see around the wiper blades here, there's actually a bush missing around here, and you can actually see there's actually play on the blade. So this is something that I'll have to get seen to as well. Then bearings will obviously come off. All the windows are going to come off. The rain gutter bearings are going to come off, and I'm going to try and take these guys off as sensitively, if I can call it that, as possible, because whopping them is just so easy. The rust that I was talking about, you can see that we've got rust creeping up on the sunroof lid. next to the sunroof lid and on the lid itself, right? So the only thing that scares me a little bit on this car is the rust that I cannot see. So the car is going to go up onto the lift. We are going to assess it thoroughly, and let's hope we don't have any bad cancer on it. Okay, so windows come out, bearings come out, seal up comes out, back windows are going to come out. This is the kit I was talking to you guys about. So if you can see, we've actually got an IS kit or an IS standing right next to the car. You can, firstly, the two kits are noticeably different, right? These guys have actually got an arch because your wheel spacing is actually pushed out further on the IX to accommodate for the 4x4. So they come with a special kit onto it, which is only manufactured for the IXs. There's no other E30s that, or no other E30s that I know of that came with these kits on. Sorry. So the bearings are going to come off. I'm going to find out how the kit comes off and use obviously the correct grommets, screws or bolts. And I would like to preserve that and just let it go back in one piece and obviously get it to line up properly. I don't know on the I-axis if there are any rubbers that come between the kit and the body, so I've got to do some research on it. Even though this car doesn't have it, there might be a possibility on that. I would like to also, you can see here on the kit here where the kit meets the body, that we've got a gap over here. So I'm gonna try and figure out what is going on here. I can see the cell does have a bit of a dent into it, so we're gonna try and repair this guy, pull it out, get it lined up properly, use a laser light for that as well, and then we should be able to get the kit sitting flat from the car. So when she's colored, you can see there's been paint because the paint is starting to crack up. I might speak to the client and we might just go black with this here, so it'll give it proper break in onto the beadings and so on like that. Just the speaker board, or the louver as people know it, looks different to your 318s or your pre-facelifts and your facelifts. And you'll see that instead of having a hump only on the one side, it's got a hump on both sides and at the back. It actually shares the same backboard as the Evo 2s. So the rear tray is not in here. I need to see what's going on here. We're obviously going to pull out all the all the panels at the back. I'm going to pull off the aerial. I'm going to get them to change the aerial because we're not going to assemble the car with that aerial. I might as well do the back rubbers. There is some clips and grommets missing on the rear tray. The tray looks good, but I want to get that. We'll get that put in and just close up the area properly. I need to find out if these guys did come with a tool cover, which I doubt it because I see the original sticker on here and some of the cars didn't come out with it. So pull all the carpet out, go through the vehicle, check for the rust, for the general rust spots underneath. If need, repair that. And I would like to get the booth area freshened up and resealed. So it's not only just painted. I'm going to give it a reseal because I can see in certain areas on the corners here. So you can see the sealer is perished over time. So we might just give it a nice reseal. Obviously, give it a primer coat properly and just get it looking fresh. So the side of the car, there's no major dents, things, scratches on it. It's just the paint quality is not what this car should have. So this car does have value in it. It is unique. It doesn't have the values of the ISs and 333s as yet, but it does have values. It does have value in it. You can see here the scar was sprayed before because all these panels are loose. The caps are not correct here. I'd like to re-pull these guys in properly and just align the car differently. I see that the original sealer has been taken off. Yeah, I don't know if this guy actually came with that sealer. So there's certain things that we want to change over here as well, and that's get the headlight covers in. You'll see there's no headlight covers now on the car, so I want to get the headlight covers in, get the proper grommets in. It does get this car looking as neat and properly as it should. This car is in overall good condition, but we need to freshen it up. So This car has been displayed. You'll see there's grommets in that missing here. Okay, well, the owner told me it was displayed, so we know that. But there's these grommets missing here, and I'd like to get them in. This one has got the original one in, and it's got overspray on it. You can see over all these clips here, there's overspray on it. The washer bottle is missing on this car. The coil is in the wrong position. So we need to try and get a washer bottle in, and then we need to, there's the headlight washers as well. That needs to come with this car. So I would like to give the car back as complete as possible and back to its factory state, if I can call it that, if I'm allowed that. If the owner is good with it and if finances allow for it. I do see a lot of oil leaks. I see, okay, the grease that I'm seeing at the bottom. Remember, we've got a duff on the front. So one of the CV joints, and you've got CV joints running from the duff to the hubs now. So the hubs are totally different to the normal E30s. And we see that one of the CVs are gone. So we'll decide if we're going to go through with any mechanical work on it. I don't really want to get involved in the mechanical because I don't know what parts are available on the car. So just stop the video there. Okay, so we're going to move the car over to the stripping area, or to the strip bay. Let's do a strip down on it. I'm not going to really video the whole strip down on it. It's a basic strip down. It's only the only differences will be on the kits. I will show you snippets in between of how it came out, and I will show you the final on the strip down and what we can find so far without getting down to metal. So let's go for it. Okay guys, so we are done stripping the vehicle, and I will go through it now with you once we drop it. But I just wanna, we've actually been through the undercarriage, and the undercarriage of the vehicle actually looks very good. So the floorboards still look intact, even though the passenger side, or the left hand side, which is the driver's side, looks like it's sloping a bit. But if I look here, I don't really see anything. So we will inspect more, but from what I can see at the bottom here, without being washed and so on like that, it actually looks intact, and it looks like a very good car, even though it has standing for ages. So what I want to do is, I actually want to go through the undercarriage quickly and show you guys how different it is compared to the normal E30s that we have here. So whether it's 318s all the way up to the 333s, they're basically generally all the same, besides for a couple of tweaks and changes here and there on the struts, on the discs, on caliper sizes and stuff like that. But on the 325iX, this is a totally different ball game, and it's something, look, we haven't seen it, we haven't been able to inspect it or even get some knowledge on it. So if we start here quickly, you'll actually see that the subframe is totally different, and I'm surprised because the subframe, meaning the cross member, is actually full aluminium. And I'm surprised that it looks like it's aluminium, the cutout looks aluminium, and I'm surprised that back then there weren't really any aluminium suspensions or subframes made up. So I'm assuming for its time back then, the technology behind these cars were actually something, right? So we got the aluminium subframe. You can actually see on this side here, there's actually a duff, and you'll see this duff is leaking very badly, and I think this is one of the weak spots on the iX. So the duff is leaking badly. The side shafts coming out of here into the hubs, so the hubs are totally different. The front suspension is totally different, and you can actually see here, this is very close to an E36 design, but it's also different from the E36 design, meaning you cannot use these struts on any other E30s. Then you've got the sump on the 325iX, which is totally different to accommodate for the duff, to accommodate for the subframe sitting further to the front. And then you've actually got a prop shaft. So you've got two prop shafts on the vehicle, like any other 4x4. You've got your main drive shaft, prop shaft running at the back, and you've got another drive shaft running from the transfer case all the way to the front duff. And then obviously this gearbox, it is a 260 getrag, but you've got the transfer case sitting at the back, and you'll actually see how the whole back of this gearbox looks totally different. If the camera can come here to the back of the gearbox. So you'll see here at the back, yeah, the whole mounting point is totally different. So the prop shaft is shorter, and then you come to the back of the car, then the back is basically 188 millimeter diff, and the back is basically back to normal E30. So the fuel pipes are different, not all. So there's just a couple of differences here and there. And then it looks like you've got a reinforced washer over here as to the E30s now. So there's a couple of differences in the cars, but it's actually nice to see how technology was back then and how it's really something different to see. Anyway, guys, let's stop the car and let's just go through it quickly before we get the wheels back on. So we've grabbed while the car is coming down. This is a hydraulic lift, so it's a bit slow coming down. Okay, so we've got the back bumper off, we've got the tail lights off, the prestige panel is going to come out now. Right, so we're going to basically prep up this guy all the way. Up here, I'm going to take the rear bumper shocks off. We've got the kit off, and the kit is actually, I battled with it because I don't think this kit was taken off before. So it had some sort of sealer on top here, and the sealer was stuck on. So you can see this wasn't an aftermarket, and the sealer was actually very uniform as to the rest of the car. So I'm assuming this is still factory sealer over here, and it's not a seal, it's more like a double-sided tape. It looks like it, but I don't think that the factory would just use double-sided tape. Then you add your normal clips running into here. It is a specialized clip, but it's something that we can get. Then your bearings are normal bearings on the doors, but for a plastic bumper, okay, that's fine, right? Okay, for a plastic bumper, she doesn't have indicators on the fender, so that's a first. And then the side skirts use the same clips as the 325 IS at the bottom, and then they actually use the 333 clips on top of that. So it's a mixture between both. Yeah, you can carry on, Gray. We're just gonna pop the rear window out. We've popped the side windows out. Sorry, this is what happens when you're stripping, that you got everything laying one side until we get everything rack stacked, marked and packed away. Then we're gonna leave the fenders on because there's an original seam sealer on there, right? We're gonna clean up at the bottom. We're gonna paint the car with the fenders on. The doors are gonna get painted separately. That'll be painted inside and outside, but we're gonna we'll put them on afterwards and we'll line them up. But we're gonna leave the fenders on. The bonnet is gonna come off. You can see the bonnet is misaligned. Yeah, we're gonna pull the bonnet off, paint that separately, and then we're gonna move into the engine bay. We're going to take the bonnet lock off, latches off, take the nozzles off, take the wiper motor mechanism off. You'll see that I got the front windscreen out. The rubber has to come off, but I want to pull off the A pillar covers first and start prepping up for paint stripping. So this here is something different. Okay, sorry, let me just reach in here quickly. Let's just see the color code on this vehicle. Okay, I can't pronounce this name, so if anybody else can pronounce this name for me, but this is what the color is of this car. So here's it here. So I'm gonna see how far we're gonna get into here. I would like to grab these covers here off, so the rubbers will come off. Take the firewall matting off, but I'm gonna try and take it off as properly as possible. Take the heater box shield off. Take the modules out, water bottle out. I'll move the fuse box aside, move the harness over to the other side. The ABS, I'm most likely gonna pull the ABS out, pull the coil off on that side there, and everything else. These brackets here are not supposed to be silver. I'm gonna pull them out as well. Let's get it painted. And remember, it's not a full restoration car, it's a respray car, but we also want to get it done as proper as possible. Anyway, guys, let's save that for the second episode for this guy here. And yeah, this is something different. So stay tuned for the next one. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Yeah. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And I think this should be one of the first 325 IXs done in SA. I think corrected. If you guys have any information about that, drop a comment. Let me know. And yeah, cheers, guys.